right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And yeah, we out here, we're just going to go right into it. Brother say, you want to get...
Yeah, just wanted to go into, because I've been talking to an individual, a lot of jakes when they ask us about what's this whole Israelite movement thing about, what's your beliefs, they seem confused because they don't have the proper understanding of the scriptures, because in, Christianity or in these churches, they're getting the BS, the BS of Christianity, the BS of churches. The churches, the pastors and preachers of the church is not given the proper understanding of the scriptures, because you see they have their understanding, but when you truly understand prophecy and look around and look at alternative media and look at Blacklist News, Natural News, I think it's Natural News, Zero Hedge, all those things that brothers post, you see that there's a lot of things going on in the world that match up with the true and proper understanding of the scriptures.
That's right.
And I just want to bring out, gonna go into like Lord's One, Isaiah 61, Isaiah 14, because we always talk about prophecy and things like that, and sometimes you think it's just, especially if you're new, you might just hear death, 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 but no, it's not all just death. It's a beautiful kingdom that's gonna be built up for us.
Yeah, it's a whole process, and prophecy covers a lot of things. And as it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, that there's a time, matter of fact, let's actually start with that and then we go into the other ones. There's a time for everything on the earth. There's a time, right? There's a season and there's a time for it, and then it goes into a time for war and a time for peace. But we in the time of war, but it doesn't mean that all the prophecies are about war and violence only, like the brother was going into, because you need violence in order to establish peace. Violence is necessary. All right, in certain instances, people try to say, violence is never necessary. That's not true. What happens if somebody is threatening your life or they're holding you hostage and you got to defend yourself? That. In most cases, that's violent, right? You might need to break somebody's arm. That's violent, but you got to defend yourself. So it's all the balance.
Right, like I was meditating upon this, like, like weed and alcohol and things like that. I believe, I hope I'm saying his name right. Is it Elder Menatazak?
Menatazak.
Yeah, he did a video. It was like an hour long of a woman and a man that came up saying that God loves all and God loves even the sinners. And she was saying how alcohol is wicked, I believe. And it's like alcohol is not evil. Alcohol, liquor, that's not an evil thing.
Right.
Now the problem with alcohol, liquor is if you overdo it, if you overindulge. But the Lord made the fruit of the vine. He made alcohol. He made the grapes so that when you crush them, you get the wine out of it.
That's right.
So He made it for a purpose. But when you overindulge in it, that becomes a problem, because when you read I believe it's was it First Ezra's, when it talks about which one is the wine, women, and the king.
Yep.
It talks about if you overindulge, next thing you know you're gonna fight someone.
Yep.
You pull out a sword on them and things like that. That's what's the problem with alcohol and liquor, is when you overindulge. Even like weed. Weed is not evil. Now, how you use weed can be evil, because I know brothers sometimes use like the weed oil. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you smoke it, then you have a problem.
Yeah, because ultimately, that goes into a whole nother topic, but, you see how, like, you may see certain people drugged up on the streets and all of that, which there's medicinal uses for these kinds of herbs. And then you have, like, for example, you see videos of like San Francisco, in different areas where you'll see people just drug the hell up. And that opens up a gateway for demons to actually get on you. Because I remember Haran, he gave a testimony when it happened, but back upstate, when he was in one of his colleagues, his school classmates, I think they came down, I forgot what holiday it was, Thanksgiving or something like that. And that dude ended up, having like, in the world they do the smoking sessions, they pass the blunt around and all of that. After he went back, he pretty much lost his whole mind. He was bugged out. He walking outside in the snow with one sock on.
Probably has thing with angel dust in it. I think that's what they call it.
What they say they what's the word they they laced it or something like that. But at the end of the day, that dude ended up having demons on him. Without realizing that he opened up himself to those things. But hey, pretty much to your point, the scriptures, in the law, in the Passover, you're supposed to drink wine. It's a part of it. So It's a part of the service, right? So, why didn't when Yahushua was with his disciples, right, and he said, "This is my blood. Drink ye all of it." Why didn't Peter jump up and say, "Hold on 1 second, whoa, you going off, Lord? That ain't right. That ain't right. Alcohol." Then he got to call the woman and bring her because alcohol is wicked. But what did Yahushua say? Ye err not knowing the scriptures, because they they speak out of their mouths, but the scriptures say you got to prove all things. You know, they don't even know if that verse is in the Bible. But yeah, you got it.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So to everything there is a season, right? That's why you have things that happen, then they stop happening. Then they happen again, then they stop happening, right? You have life and you have death. You have a start and you have a finish. There's always a constant motion or a constant changing. That's how you have cycles, okay? When it starts raining, it stops raining. There's a season for winter, there's a season for summer, there's a season for autumn, and then it restarts again. So everything on the earth has a purpose and a time when it's to be used. And things, when they're used out of season, is when they can cause, you know, unanticipated or unwelcome results.
Verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die.
A time to be born and a time to die, exactly. You know, so just like everybody comes on the earth, the Lord actually has an appointed time for you to come back. You know, roughly 3 to 4 generations, you put on the earth, and once you live life and then you die, everybody has a time to die. You know, but Lord willing, you know, when we get to the kingdom, not even Lord willing, we're assured of it because the scriptures say it, but when we get to the kingdom, we ain't gonna die anymore. But the point is, there's a time for it all.
Says a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Right. So you got harvest season, you got planting season. There's always a time for it. Go ahead.
A time to kill and a time to heal.
So there's a time and place where killing happens. You know, people act as though, see, that's the thing. The scriptures talk about a false balance. It's an abomination to the Lord. Not just that a false balance is just false or is bad. It's an abomination to the Lord, because everything has to have a balance. You got to have the one thing and then the opposite of it, you know, to balance it out. You have cold, you have hot, you have light, you have darkness, you have fast, you have slow, you know, hungry, full. Everything has a balance to it. Short, tall, you know, man, woman, male, female, everything. All right.
Right, and through that creates a cohesive unit, like you mentioned with the man, the woman. You have the masculine and you have the feminine, and through that, them getting together, they're able to bring a child and they're able to raise up a child. You know, the woman at the beginning nourishes the child up, and then when he gets older, she gives him, or he gives him off to, or gives him or her off to the father, and the father raises them up.
Right. That's right. Got it.
What's that black circle and it has like the white dot one
Oh,
way?
the yin and the
Yeah,
yang.
yeah. See?
Yep. Yeah, push and pull, yin and yang.
It says verse 3 again. It says a time to kill and a time to heal.
Time to kill and a time to heal, and the Most High does it all. So that's why there's times. Matter of fact, the time we coming into a time of Jacob's trouble, that's going to be a time of mass killing. All right, a time of mass death. But what's going to happen after that? There's going to be healing. See, right now Esau's in power, so this is the time of misery, of suffering. But when the Lord sets us up in power, pursuant to Romans the 8th chapter, right, the earnest expectation of the creature, right, they're waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. That's when it's going to be a time of peace and people are going to rejoice. So everything has a balance and a time to it. So to the brother's point earlier, yeah, you know, right now we're in the time of judgment. We're in the time of the destruction going out. So that's why a lot of the prophecies that we go into are heavily centered around that, you know. But we also go into the kingdom. We also talk about deliverance, because along with destruction comes salvation. You can't have salvation without destruction, because, and when I say destruction, I'm talking in different levels, because salvation in essence is you being saved, right? You getting delivered. But what are you getting delivered from? If there's nothing to be delivered from, then you're not getting delivered.
Oh, if you watch the if you watch, I watch on YouTube sometimes the Dragon Ball Super manga, because they got something going on right now. Because even though the show's not going on, the manga is still going on, the comic book. And right now, sorry spoilers, but if you keep up, basically Vegeta's learning to how to be like a god of destruction. He's learning the way of like Beerus, while Goku's learning, you know, the angel way, I guess, with Ultra Instinct and Whis. And basically something Beerus told to Vegeta. Yeah, Beerus told Vegeta, before creation comes destruction.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So that's why the Lord's going to destroy this place, and then the real, true New World Order is going to come from that. Go ahead.
It says, continuing in verse 3, Ecclesiastes 3:3, it says, a time to break down and a time to build up.
So what's going on right now? The breaking down of this society. All right, we're at the end, and the hand of God is upon this society, and it's being broken down. Okay, that's why the infrastructure is going down, the morale of the people is going down, people are losing their minds, you know.
Yeah, as you said, that's an example right across the street.
Yep. Demons are hopping on people. So we in the time of the last days. These are all, everything you see going on right now is not normal. All right, it's all been prophesied to happen, and it's only gonna get worse from here. Go ahead.
Verse 4, a time to weep and a time to laugh.
A time to weep and a time to laugh. And right now we weeping, but as it says in Isaiah 65, the Lord is going to turn the tables. And she probably can sell. But the Lord's going to turn the tables, and we going to laugh. All right, and the rest of the world is going to mourn. That's a balance, right? There's a time for everything.
All right, because you enjoyed your time in this wicked kingdom, but your wicked kingdom's coming to an end. So now it's time for you to mourn, and it's time for us to see the kingdom coming, for us to rejoice.
That's right.
That's only right.
Yep. Yep. You could go to the one you wanted to get in Isaiah.
Oh, 61.
You know, so hey, at the end of the day, that's why the Lord said you got to eat the whole roll. All right, you got to get the full understanding of everything that's going on, so you know where we are, what's going on, what's going to happen next. Yeah, because you know, people may see a video, they may hear the things we're going into, what we're talking about, and like you said, they may think, whoa, so is this all that it's about? You know, just destruction, destruction, destruction. Well, when Ezra asked the angel about, okay, what about all the good things that are going to happen? He said the good things can't come before the bad things. The good things can't come before the judgment of the negative that you've done. Everything is a cause and effect, right? When you stick your hand in fire, you ain't gonna feel the healing process before you feel the pain. No, you stuck your hand in the fire, you're gonna feel the burn, you're gonna pull your hand, and then the next phase is gonna come. You know, when you treat it and your body begins the healing process. You got it? So it's all a balance, but the destruction is necessary for us to get to the kingdom, for us to get to the next step. All right.
This is Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1. It says, the Spirit of the Lord power is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted. And
the good tidings is the gospel, all right? The good news. And who is it for? To the meek. So you got people going around saying, no, you guys are exclusive. Well, the scriptures say that the good news is to the meek, all right? And that's the nation of Israel, starting with the elect. So that's who we're out here for. And ultimately, the Lord said, all you got to do is give them the warning. All right, you gotta eat the whole roll. You gotta go out there and feed them. You know, now if you go somewhere and they don't want it, then that's it. They don't. The scriptures say that not everybody is going to understand. Not everybody's going to be saved. Romans 11:7. Not everybody's going to receive it. You know, so if they can't receive it, if you try to force them to receive it, you're going to find yourself going against the will of the Lord, because the Lord said, I blinded them for a reason. They ain't going to get it. So are you trying to make, the scripture say, can you turn an unclean thing into a clean thing? Right? Can the clean come out of the unclean? And what the Lord has made unclean, you cannot make clean. So if the Lord said no, they're going to be, in Revelation it says what? He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. So if the Lord says no, they ain't going to get it, then it doesn't matter what you do, lest you find yourself to fight against the Most High.
And two precepts to back up your point a little earlier is, I believe that's in Matthew the 11th chapter, where Yahushua said, until the days of John the Baptist till now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence,
yep.
and the violent take it by force. The kingdom of heaven is the Israelites, and the violent ones at the time were the Romans.
Right.
And that's the same thing happened again today, which is the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They're the Israelites, and the violent that are trotting them down, keep beating them up, is you Edomites, you so-called white people, Caucasians today.
That's right.
And another one was before Yahweh Shai ascended up into the heavens after he was with the disciples who then turned to apostles. He said, one, if I'm not sure if it was Peter or one of them said, "Will you now restore the kingdom to Israel?"
Right. Yep.
He didn't say the whole world. He said to Israel.
Yeah, 'cause that's all it's about. It's always been about the nation of Israel, and it's only been about the nation of Israel. The other nations are secondary characters. When you read the scriptures, it's from the perspective of a particular nation of people. Why is it that hold on a second. Why is it that all the scriptures in here are written or narrated by Israelites and about Israelites? You know, yeah, they may speak about like a heathen, you know, and his impact on Israel, but at the end of the day, it's from Israel's perspective. When the heathens conquer us, the scriptures don't speak from a perspective of the heathen rejoicing. When Jerusalem got destroyed, the scriptures, you know, the perspective was like mourning.
Book of Lamentations.
Book of Lamentations, there you go.
Jeremiah.
That's it. Why wasn't it the book of rejoicing and victory laps from the perspective of Nebuchadnezzar, you know, or the heathens? It wasn't. It was always about Israel from the jump, and it's always going to be about Israel.
Well,
that's who the book is for.
Another question: why aren't there any heathen prophets in the book?
There you go.
Hey, why wouldn't you use one of them and prophesy to the heathen if they're welcomed into this?
Right. What happened with the prophets of Baal and Elijah? You know. And in the book, it always shows you the Lord delivering the nation of Israel. That's what you see countless times. When in the scriptures do you see these other nations crying unto the Lord, and the Lord comes in and says, "No, I got you. Don't worry." And the Lord says, "No, I'm gonna push my nation back so that I could deliver you for your sake." King David said, "What? They cried even unto the Lord, but the Lord didn't answer them. Then did I beat them small as the dust of the earth." So, well, you know, what's that going into?
Then another example is Revelation the 7th chapter. For those people in the churches, you have 12,000 out of each tribe being saved and delivered. Why isn't that talked about? Obviously, the Israelites are going to be there in the last days. They're going to be saved. So who are the Israelites?
That's right.
Where are they?
That's right.
And why isn't that preached? Everybody can be saved. Well, it also, if everybody can be saved, why aren't you saying Israelites can be saved?
Right. Everybody but Israel. And then they make it seem like everybody rejected the Lord. If everybody rejected the Messiah when he came, where did his disciples come from? Where did the multitude that followed the Lord weeping after him come from? How did the church grow? If they make it seem like the Lord came on the scene and not even a frog, you know, croaked, you know, at the Lord's appearance. And he just walked around by himself, and then he just put himself on the cross. He climbed up on there, he nailed himself on there. All right, there ain't nobody here, and I'm just. What are you talking about, man? The scriptures even talk about some of the Pharisees, Nicodemus, and all of them. Okay.
One of the individuals that was hanging on the cross with him as well.
Yeah.
On the right side.
Yep.
So, Lord, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
So what do you talk? So, and it shows you what they just speak out of their minds. They don't speak from the scriptures, and that's why they find themselves constantly taking L's, because they come with doctrine and dogma, right? Incorrect doctrine and dogma, and then they come and they meet the scriptures, and then they got to turn back. Go ahead.
I'll read Isaiah chapter 61, verse 1. It says, "The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
Yep.
He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives."
So who are the brokenhearted? The Israelites. Okay? And they're being bound up now by this word and being gathered. Because once you hear this word, you know, it seals you. If you're of the elect, you know, it activates you. Okay? What? And that's the power of the words of the Lord. Here it is. We're speaking. These are words that we're speaking. All right, but here it is. It's the same book. There's nothing we're doing differently from the book. We're just reading the scriptures, breaking it down, and look at the impact that it's having, starting with our elders and apostles.
And it's the proper understanding, not that stuff that you get in the church, which
That's
is
right.
just confusion. And then when you ask them a question, they don't know. They look at you with like 10 heads
Yeah.
or 2,000 heads.
Seven heads and 10 horns. Look at you like you the beast. But that's like the brother said. The key to the Bible is understanding, the proper understanding. Because once you have the proper understanding of the scriptures, you may not even have the book with you, but guess what? You have it within you. So you may quote it, but you know what it means. Look, the reason we have the book is so you have the information in here. We make reference to it. We teach out of it. We bring our scriptures out of it. But eventually, the word is supposed to be within you. That's why you eat the roll. You consume the words in here inside of you. Then out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. So when you don't, even if you don't have the book, the contents that are in the book are inside of your head. The point of the scriptures is the message that's coming out of it. Because, all right, I may not be able to quote the verse exactly, but if I know that it says don't take the MOTB, then that's all I need to know. And I'm gonna follow that. So you may say, well, what does it say in Revelation 13:16? I'll tell you, look, don't take the MOTB, and the MOTB is the Charagma. Well, that's not actually the verbatim writings of it, but guess what? Whether you read it verbatim or whether you hear what I just told you, if you don't take heed to that, you're still gonna be destroyed. So you gotta have the word within you.
Yeah, and then sometimes just don't be foolish. Use common sense.
Yeah.
The Lord gave you a brain up there for a reason. Even if you don't have the Spirit upon you, you still have a brain. Use it. Like, don't be stupid.
Yeah, a lot of Jake, there's certain things that you know how to do, but you want to be told first.
Sheep.
Yeah, God.
But I just wanted to get a precept says to where it said in Isaiah 61 says, He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, right?
Yep.
And then this time that's us, because when you go to I'm gonna read Daniel the 9th chapter and verse 11. It says, Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us. And what's the curse? Is when you read the book of Deuteronomy from chapter 28, from verses 15 all the way to 68, I believe. Those are all the curses that will be put upon us.
Yep.
And when we look at the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, those curses fit us. I believe Apostle Tahar did a video where a Jake was shot 90 times on it.
Yeah, shot at
Like,
him,
I mean, come on, like the first 5 bullets is enough. You mean to tell me 85 more? He wasn't dead after that?
Was it with a pistol? I didn't get to see that video yet, but like, damn, at some point you gotta reload. So you mean to tell me, I mean, if that's the case,
Maybe he did it. He was like, he ain't dead yet.
this thing, so you had a moment of thought to reload, and nothing told you, after you empty the clip, maybe that's enough. Nah. But that's that spirit coming out, because everybody, whatever actions anybody takes, there's a spirit on you to do that. The fact that we're speaking right now, there's a spirit on us making us speak. So the fact that he said, I'm not gonna stop till 90 bullets or 90 shots are fired, there was a spirit that was on him to do that. Whether he wanted to or not. But like you said, that's talking about us. About the you read in Daniel. Actually, you can read that again.
Yeah. Daniel chapter 9 verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. How is they not obeying the voice in these times? By listening to the man of the Lord. Like right now, people are just passing by, not listening. You have some Edomites passing by, looking like Edomites, but you mostly see Jakes passing by, and they see the chart, they see us with the Bible, they say they love Jesus, but nobody's coming to hear the word of the Most High. It says, therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges, that judged us by bringing upon us a great evil.
So is the Most High wrong for doing what he's doing? Absolutely not. He's only doing what he said he was going to do, and he's bound by his word. See, the Most High is not a man that he should lie, right? But that's okay when it comes to, oh, Lord, you said that you were going to do this for me, so remember, you're not a man that you should lie. Well, use that same logic when the Lord said, if you go off, I'm going to punish you. He's not a man that he should lie, so he got to punish you. You know, at the end of the day, you know, the good comes with the bad. I know I'm saying that, but it's not something fun. You know, it's not. It's the truth. The truth, and that's why the truth is absolute, because the truth is not contingent on opinions or feelings or whether it's good or bad. The truth is the truth. The truth can come off as bad or it can come off as good, but it doesn't change the fact that it is the truth.
Like the scripture said, we can do nothing against the truth but for the truth.
That's right. That's right. It's absolute. It's not subjective. It's objective. Go on.
Continuing in verse 12, it says,
Is it Daniel 9?
yeah, Daniel chapter 9, verse 12.
And here Daniel is making supplication. He's beseeching the Most High on behalf of the nation of Israel.
They're right here.
Says, by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven had not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing that happened in these times, because what? We went to captivity under Esau, Edom.
Right.
We went to hardcore bondage, hardcore slavery. They the gay debate, the
Yep,
opening the what was it, Gad's women's womb,
Mhm.
cutting out the baby and stomping upon it. You know, what was it smallpox and all those things?
Yep.
The Tuskegee experiment, that wasn't done upon the so-called Chinese or even the so-called white man. It wasn't done upon the Arabs or Ishmaelites or any of them.
Mhm.
It was only done upon us.
Right.
So that's why the Isaiah, we're going into Isaiah 61 because let me read it again. So, like it says, he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, right? Because we're brokenhearted, because we see the things that happen to our people, and we're saying, how long, oh Lord? Like, when is this stuff going to end? When is it going to stop?
Right.
How long are these people just going to be able to do whatever they want to your people?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like the brother put up, Galatians 4 and 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And people get upset at us as if we're the one. We don't control prophecy. All right. Disclaimer: we don't control prophecy. We can only tell you what it is. We're not creating your future. We're just telling you what's already there. So if you tell somebody, look, this is what's gonna happen. You know, the death that's coming. Oh, you guys, why are you speaking that into it? We're not the ones controlling it. You know, if anything, you should be grateful because it's gonna happen regardless. So if you got a problem with the event that's gonna happen, you need to take it up with the Most High because it's in His plans. You know, we're just here to tell you before it happens. And if you were spiritual and you had spiritual common sense, you'd say, well, I know it's unavoidable, but thank you for letting me know. Now I'm gonna live my life a certain way with that in mind.
Right, like they hate the player, but you think about it, you should hate the game. It's like, oh, I don't like this. Well, don't take it up with us, like the brother said. Take it up with the Most High.
Right.
He's the one that created the game. He is the one that created all this. We're just the players on the chessboard. That's just the moving pieces, the ones that's speaking for him.
Mm-hmm.
We can't sit there and be like, you know, we didn't create this. We didn't create the sun, the moon, the stars, the earth, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that created. So he also created the story.
Right.
And this is how he wanted it to go.
That's right. It's like going to a concert and the dude is the guy singing is horrible. So you get mad and you jump on the stage and you grab the mic out of his hand and you just start smashing the mic, breaking the mic, put that shit, set it on fire, you know, put the fire out, and then that's it. You walk back into the crowd. The mic ain't the problem. Because another artist who sings good can come and take the same mic and sing and you'll love it. So the mic is not the problem. So you got a problem. That's what these people do. They got a problem, but they know they can't take it up with the Most High, so they want to destroy the microphone. You know, they want to come after us. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not the problem, you know? That's why the Most High is going to bring judgment upon this place, man, because these people they're it's like a mouse talking shit to a lion. You know, and you look at it and it's hard to understand how does that work.
Oh, it's like Tom and Jerry when they was always fighting.
Yeah.
Jerry would always fuck with Tom. And the whole war would start.
Mm-hmm. Yep, like I can't just grab you and, you know what I'm saying, just snap your leg. That's the thing. These people don't have the fear of the Lord because they haven't been introduced to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They're still stuck believing in a God that doesn't exist. Jesus and all that, that's not that's not the Son of the Most High. And you know, the image of like God, this white old man, and that's not the Most High himself. So a lot of people don't really know the Yahweh himself. They don't know Yahweh Shai. You know? They only know made up Christian fables about a higher power in his son. So when Yahushua comes back, that's why people are going to be losing their minds, because it's not going to add up. Wait, why are things being destroyed? Isn't this the Messiah's return? Yeah, it's the Messiah's return. Why are things being destroyed? Yeah, they're being destroyed because that's the times we're in. You know, that's what he's coming back to do. But because you were so caught up in the sweet Jesus fables, you weren't reading what the scripture said that he was actually gonna do. That's why it says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, because for the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. All right? Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 61, verse 2. It says, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God.
Whoa. So a part of the message is we're supposed to proclaim the day of vengeance of our God. So there's a day coming very soon where the Most High is going to take vengeance because he's very angry, and rightfully so.
Continue.
You can break it down.
Okay, I'll read it again. It says, verse 2, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. Like I was saying earlier, the Israelites, we're the ones that's mourning because we're the ones that's, being beaten down by Esau Edom right now. We're the ones that's getting gunned down in the streets, and we need salvation because this man wants to bring out, Revelation 13 and 16 and keep us in, continual slavery forever.
Right.
And keep us, and never let us get the blessing, never allow us to be who we are. Just like when you read, when you go back to in the time of Exodus, Pharaoh didn't want to let us go.
Yep.
So what? Violence, because you don't want to let us be who we are, you don't want to let us serve our God, so this has to be done by violence. Because the Lord was speaking to you, is prophesying through Moses and Aaron at that time, saying, let my people go. Who's Lehawadai, I should let the people go. I'm going to just put on more burdens. And the Lord was bringing the plagues upon Pharaoh, and he still wouldn't listen. Until then, what? He killed the firstborn, and he let him go. And the Lord put the spirit upon Pharaoh and the armies to come after Israel. Because the Lord said, I want to give me honor upon Pharaoh.
That's right.
Because you wouldn't let them go. Now, yeah, it was the Lord putting heart in his heart, but still, because you wouldn't let us go, you wouldn't let us be who we are, and I'm talking about Esau Edom in these times, it's going to have to be done by violence.
That's right. That's right.
Because, that's the thing about Esau Edom. Esau has the money, the resources, and everything to change things around. It's just not written for him to do that.
Right.
But he does have the money, the resources, and things of that nature to put us back in line, to give us everything. Everything is there. He just has it hidden away.
Yep.
But of course, it's not written for him to do that, so therefore he won't do it. So it's like, since you won't let my people serve me, and obviously, Yahushua has to get his glory, because when Yahushua gets his glory, Yahweh definitely is going to get his glory. It starts with the Most High first, then it goes down to Yahushua, then it goes down to the elective nation Israel, and then the whole nation as a whole. And the Most High definitely wants his glory. You don't play about that.
Yep. That's right. That's right. And that goes to show you it's a spiritual thing, because at the end of the day, the reason that it may seem so easy but yet so impossible is because the Most High set it up that way. When you go back to the prayer that King Solomon prayed, if all Israel was to repent, turn to the east, and pray to the Lord, he would deliver at that same time. But guess what? As straightforward as that may seem, it's never going to happen. It's not going to happen. The way we're going to get out of here ain't going to be by all Israel turning and repenting, and nope. So you may, if we could just get every Israelite to just, even if I got to pay you $1 million, just do what I'm saying, it's not going to happen. As straightforward as it may seem, it's not going to happen.
It was never like that, because even when you go back to the time of the wilderness, what did the Lord say? He said, I didn't require sacrifice, just obey my voice. But what? It was just the same old, the melons and the leeks and the garlics, and we had the flesh to the full back in Egypt.
Right.
We're here in the wilderness. And the Lord fed us. He gave us manna from heaven. He gave us the quail.
Yep.
What was it? He made Moses smote the rock.
Yep.
He gave us the trees for covering when we were hot. The Lord took care of us, but Israel always just complained. Israel is never satisfied.
Yep. They have greedy eyes. They never appreciate what they've got. Because here it is, you get something, but the second the next person gets something that's greater than yours, you don't even take the second to appreciate what you got. You start looking at that person's thing. Oh, how come he got that and I got this? It's like, now if you were the only one who got the gift, you'd be more than happy. You know, that you got Israelites that are actually like that. You know, they'll be, oh, yo, thank you so much. But then say you give them a gift, and then they're excited, and then you give the next brother a even greater gift. Now all of a sudden, hey, what's this? Why he got that? What about me? Why can't I get that? You know, he's better than me. Like, what is it? Unappreciated. You know, you should be happy you got a gift in the first place.
What we call it in the Caribbean, your eyes is too big.
So what's the Lord gonna do? He's gonna melt them, right? That's in Zechariah, the 14th chapter.
It says, going back to Isaiah 61:3, it says, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning.
Yeah, beauty for ashes, because what happens when you mourn? You cast, you know, dust upon your head, you know, and yeah, go ahead. And then, you know, as it says, I forgot the next line, but it went into basically mourning. So what the Lord is going to do is he's going to turn the table. See, first he turned it to where now we're suffering, you know, all the good has become bad, right? The positives became negatives. But what the Lord is going to do is he's going to turn it around again to where every negative is going to become positive. Because the reason all these negatives are happening is because we're under a curse. So guess what? When the Lord lifts the curse, all the blessings are going to follow permanently.
And like you said, the Lord, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. So it's like, I can't watch my people just suffer. There has to be some balance. That will bother the Lord, because like, well, false balance bothers me. So it's like, I can't let y'all suffer forever.
Yeah, God. Especially your sons. You know, your nation, you picked them. You know, and then on top of that, the Lord made a promise to our forefathers. And then when you read throughout the scriptures, that always comes back up. Remember the promise you made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah, these damn flies, man. And summertime flies. You know? But hey, it is what it is, you know? Flies ain't gonna cost us our salvation. Forget that. You know, but at the end of the day, the blessing is permanent. That's why the work we do now, is so important, because this work we're doing is gonna is gonna work for us a permanent reward. No more getting gunned down in the streets. No more living paycheck to paycheck. We tired of that, you know? Every time, that's just, but then you look at the so-called Chinese people, the so-called East Indians, why they not living paycheck to paycheck? I mean, now people starting to feel it, you know, but for the most part, first fired, last hired, you know? And Jake knows that there's something specifically directed at them, and yet, well, that's just the way it is.
But it's not.
You
There's
know?
an answer for everything.
But they run away from the answers. You know? We tell them, look, all the answers to your life's problems are in the book. No, I'd rather deal with the problems. I'd rather just deal with that. I don't want to get into this and all of that. Why not? Jake will actually tell you, I don't want to get into this. Why don't you want to get into this?
But actually, because sometimes, you know, I watch those, I remember I told you brothers I put that Grave Mind YouTube channel, and sometimes be saying some stuff, which is really in the scriptures, but, you know. Sometimes I want to bring out, you got to, be able to deal with the problems, and that's what Israel don't like to do. They want to be like women. Because, you know, when you try to bring out serious talk with a woman, she's like, oh, that's too scary. I don't want to hear about those things. That's too much for me. But it's like, yeah, I understand, because, you know, she is a woman, and, you know, women are not like men. But it's like, it needs to be talked about. You need to talk about, like, yo, we've been done dirty. If you try to talk to Jake about, you know, do you think that, you know, the so-called white people should pay for what they did to us? Do you think that there should be some, you know, according to scriptures, you know, true recompense, what's the word I'm looking for?
Reparations?
Yeah, reparations according to the scriptures. And when you bring it out, like, nah, that's too much. But it's like, so then, what's the answer then? How are we supposed to get, you know, healed from the things the wrong that's been done to us?
Right. That's why the Most High is gonna move them out the way. You know? No, it ain't. The Most High ain't going, oh Lord, you know what? I forgive them. Who the fuck are you? I don't give a damn if you forgive them. You know what I'm saying? I'm the one bringing out the judgment. Now, if you don't move out the way, I'm gonna judge your ass with them. You know, that shit is, you know, it's very vexing to see. You know, here it is. Your enemy is doing all these atrocities to you, and then when the deliverer comes, no, forgive him. That's too harsh. Forgive him. But then when he turns around and messes you up again, you're gonna turn around and cry again. So that's why all those people that we gotta save the Edomites too. It's always the Edomites. It's always Esau. You know?
But he's done the worst and most damage.
There you go.
And can still this day still doing the same stuff. He hasn't changed.
Yep.
Elder Ataz want to put that video with those two Gadite women, and it's like they were getting on the Edomite woman and the Edomite man that was trying to back her up. Y'all have not changed in all these years, man. Y'all just talk down to people, and that's how they are, because we were brought up a certain way according to the scripture, so it's in us to have respect. It's just we've lost that. But Jake still does have some type of sense of respect.
Yep.
But when you talk to Edomites and things like that, they have no fucking respect, or any of these other heathens. Now, I'll admit some of the other heathens do have some type of respect. But Esau Edom's the worst. He has no type of respect at all.
Pride.
I remember, I believe when we went to Atlantic City, this was more than a year ago. I remember when we were in the hotel going back to the room, and Dubar was passing through, and some Edomite I apologize, but like bum rushed the shit out, almost like wanted to knock him down, and didn't say apologies, no nothing. And you know Dubar is a big dude, but this Edomite was small, just wanted to bum rush him, and didn't say excuse me, sorry, no nothing, just passed by him like he wasn't even there. And I was like, that has to be Edomite, because there's no way.
Yeah. Yep. And because in his mind, he's like, yeah, touch me. I want you to touch me, so I could call the cops, you know, and use and weaponize the system against your ass, you know. And the Most High does, because you got to think about it, right? Instinctively, you want to get enraged. You want to be like, what the fuck? And number one, he's an Edomite. Number two, that was just rude, you know. So you know, to satisfy your feeling in that time, you might want to wring him by the neck, but you got to think first. Okay, what happens after I wring him by the neck? You know what I mean? The cops gonna ring me into that jail, you know, or whatever the case may be. And I don't think that, you know, so you gotta think about that, then you calm down, and then you think about the fact that, you know what, that's all right, because in the kingdom, we're gonna get them back. So, you know what, it's fine, I'll be patient. That's why patience is an example of suffering. You know, you gotta suffer these things. You got it?
That's how them Edomites are, man. They prop themselves up to be so civilized and things like that, but when you look at their history, they're not civilized at all.
Yeah.
They do animalistic things that'll just make you wonder, like, you sit there and act civilized, you know, when they're drinking their tea, to be like, hello, sir, and all that, but it's like, they're animals.
Yeah. There was that video of that Edomite woman who was running like a dog, literally on all fours.
Oh, yeah, I seen that. She was hopping over
hopping
something,
over
like,
shit, yep.
what the fuck? Like, what possessed
Yep.
you?
Yep. I put up a video a little while back. You had these Edomites. I guess it's called mud diving or some shit like that, and they just like, I don't know, like pig and shit. You know what I'm saying? They just jumping into the mud, you know, and just you got the old Edomite looking dude in the back. He just in there like he been in the shit. He been in the game for years. You know, he just rolling up in the mud and shit. You know what I'm saying? He turning around. He getting up. What the fuck you doing, bro? go wash your ass in the, you know what I'm saying? Go take a shower. What the hell is this?
They
You know?
gonna have sex later, so yeah.
Yeah, disgusting ass. They think of the craziest, wildest shits. You know, like, wow, I wonder what this would be. See, when Jake think of like, I wonder what this would be, it'll lead to like something creative. Like, you know what? I only got this. I wonder what will happen if I use this to make this. Can I do this? And then, you know, Jake will end up coming up with something. Esau gets inspired to destroy things. Jake gets inspired to create things. You know, that's how you have like different types of music, different kinds of food, you know, different kinds of clothing and dressing, swag. You know, Jake, they think, and then because the Spirit of the Lord is on us, you think about, yo, you know what? What if I did it this way? And one thing I'll say about it too is that when you do something and you own it, and others see that, then they start to, you know, like a trend.
Inspired.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but if you just do something, you just don't, whatever is this, whatever. They ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna look at it as well, like that.
Since you mentioned it, I'm gonna try to find the video. I think it's on Instagram. I think I saved it. There was this Israelite woman that she was homeless at a time, and she made clothing out of like, I think it's like some type of texture. It looked like sackcloth, but the way it looks hot, like it looks nice. And then she started getting famous and recognition from it. So now she's like making money off of it.
Would you look
But
at
she
that?
was homeless at one point, and she said, I just made clothes for myself, and then now look at her. Now she's making money.
Because the real power is here is in the mind, you know, and oh, in the book Behold a Pale Horse, they tell you that because they know that Jake is exceptionally brilliant, they deliberately dumb Jake down.
Suppress it.
Yes, and make sure that even the smartest of the smartest kids will not get the correct opportunity needed in order to go somewhere with that. Because if they do, then they're not going to fill up them jail cells, and that's a problem. You know? So
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Slug, yeah, actually, yeah, because when Jake goes to jail, what happens? They get reformed, they change,
Yep.
and they, become intellectuals. Yeah, they may go off on certain things, but they become better. Because what? That isolation gives you time to think, gets you time to correct yourself. But when you're in the world, you got all the noise, everything that's bothering you.
Yep. Well, that's some of them, you know?
Yeah,
some of them just become more demons. You know, they go in there with 10, they come out with 100. And then they go back in there. Some of them love jail so much that they come outside for a vacation. And then they go back to jail.
Jail is life, and then outside is vacation. I'm just here for some time. But my real life is in there.
Because he knows exactly how to get right back home. You know? I just gotta when I'm done with my vacation, I just gotta commit a crime. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be going home right away. That shit is crazy, man. It's so backwards, man. But I mean, this is what happens when you force, somebody to conform to this kind of system. You know, they start to adapt in a way where they can keep themselves sane and still do whatever they got to do. You know, and that's like when somebody is so hungry that they commit cannibalism. Eventually, you'll notice that once they commit cannibalism the first time, the second time, the third time, they have no problem doing it. They have no problem doing it again because they force themselves to be okay doing that. And after they get, they've been introduced into that, that's it. They're going full force with it, and then they go hunting. First they're hesitant, they're hesitant to try it, but after they try it, then that's it. Here it is. They tie you up in a basement, ripping off your thighs like it's a piece of steak or some shit, like you at Arby's. We got the meats, but that's gonna be a reality. Some of these wicked Israelites are gonna be Arby's meats. They're gonna be in somebody's basement, being used as Arby's meats. You got it.
I'll read it again. This is Isaiah chapter 61, verse 3. It says, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness.
So ultimately, what's the Most High going to do? The Most High is going to raise back up the nation of Israel. All right, Amos 9 and 11. Okay? And that's why he said, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and everything else shall be added unto you. So the Lord already got a package, a plan set for us. You just got to be willing to walk the path that Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushua is going to give you. And if you are, then look, the Lord is the one who's setting up the obstacles on the path. He's setting up the destination of the path. He's setting up what the path looks like, whatever is coming on there. But as long as you're willing to walk the path, the Lord will lead you to new heights. You just got to be willing to walk. I mean, the scriptures say that we're going to get what? New bodies. Can you imagine what that's actually like? I mean, that's something we talk about, but you got to sit down and really meditate on that. What does that mean for me to have a new body? You know how excited people get when they get new sneakers, right? New clothes, a new car. But these are all exterior. I mean, your body is also exterior when you look in the terms of the spirit, but this is a new body. This isn't a new car that you're going to go sit in and drive. This is a new body that's going to allow you to be able to fly, to be able to, control things with your mind, to be able to, to have knowledge, beyond anything you've ever been able to even think about. Being able to see right now, see Esau, he got to make binoculars, right? And telescopes so that he can see certain areas. He got to make x-ray vision and night vision goggles and all that. We ain't going to need that. We're going to be able to see. You might just look over there and your eyes could just pinpoint exactly what you're seeing. Because there are limitations on these. These are called chains of darkness. What do chains do? Chains restrict you, right? So like when you handcuff somebody or when you chain somebody, guess what? It makes it, you either immobilize them or you make it nearly impossible for them to move. So they move very, very slow, if they can move at all. Like with shackles. That means they can't really run. So that's what these chains of darkness do. They put limitations on us. They put limitations on the way we think. They put limitations on the way our body functions. They put limitations on the things we're capable of. Okay? But in the kingdom, those new bodies ain't going to be chains of darkness. We're going to be freed from these chains of darkness. Our spirits are finally going to be free. I want to break free. You know what I mean? So we're gonna break free and enter that, you know, that new body that the Lord has prepared for us. All right. And just as crazy as it sounds to believe it, imagine how much crazier it'll be to see it. And that's gonna be okay. Yeah, or to feel it. You ain't gonna need to go, oh, I gotta, here it is, I'm working out in the gym. Nah, I'm sore, I'm ripping up these muscles, and no. We are going to be perfection. That's it. There's gonna be no getting better than us. You know, so, you know, in this society, you know, a lot of things are based off of outward appearance, looks, and status, and this and all that. Everything there is to have, we will have. You know, and we'll have it to the perfect degree.
I was trying to find a precept in here. So, mentions in Sirach about the mind that museth upon many things, but the body weighs down the soul of the spirit. I forgot how it goes.
I can't even word search it. My phone is over there.
If someone could put in the comments, but I know it's either Wisdom of Solomon or I believe it's the book of Sirach where it says the body presseth down the soul of the mind that museth upon many things.
Okay. Do you have your pocket on your phone? Yeah, you probably word search it. Or even if you go on Google, you just type in a few keywords and KJV at the end. You might be able to see something on there, you know? But yeah, at the end of the day, this is, look, because the Most High, imagine the Most High, right? With all the knowledge and all the things he has in his mind as an artist to create, right? And here it is, look at the things that we're being exposed to over here. You think the Most High is looking at this like, wow, this is but a grain of sand, but a fraction for him. The Most High, look, this is like some little stuff right here. Hold on 1 second. I think it's Wisdom of Solomon 9:15, but I'm not put it up. Shalom, water. Wisdom of Solomon 9:15. So the Most High is like, imagine the water brothers for putting up the precept. But the things that he has in store for us, man, he ain't. What is this? What are just cars and, you know what I'm saying, light bulbs and planes and shit? That's low level, you know. That's low level. The Most High has things on a much higher scale that he's like, look, man, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell is that? You gonna come to the kingdom talking about, Lord, we got ice cream over here? You got, Jay, I got ice cream in the kingdom. You know, ice cream? Yeah, well, what? Ice cream. You know, it's like, bro, we on a whole other level, you know? Y'all don't got no TVs. You're not a DVD player. You know, you push the button, the disc come out, you push the button and shit. Bro, the kingdom is gonna be on such a high level. That's why Paul said, this corruptible must become incorruptible. This mortal must become immortal. Because in order for us to fully access the kingdom and live in the kingdom, because the kingdom is gonna be perfect, right? So in order for us to fully enjoy that and for the match to be, we gotta be made perfect, right? Like the stone that fits in the right spot. So that's what the Lord is gonna do. We are those precious gems, those lively stones that are gonna be fitted right into the right spot.
I'll start at 13.
Okay.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 13. For what man is he that can know the counsel of the Most High?
Right. What man is he that can know the counsel of the Most High? You know, that's in the mind of God. Now, pursuant to Amos 3:7, he has given us insight, okay, into a little bit of, you know, his counsel through the scriptures and through the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, okay? But nobody's going to be able to counsel the Lord. Go ahead.
Continuing, or who can think what the will of the Lord is? Verse 14.
Which ultimately on a certain, like I mentioned, on a certain level, that's the prophets. Because we can think what the will of the Lord is because he told us. All right? Now we don't determine the Lord's will, but if he reveals it to us, then we know it. So we can tell you that the will of the Lord is to destroy America, and that's true. The will of the Lord is to deliver the elect. That's true. The will of the Lord is that all Israel shall be saved. That's also true. Got it?
Verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain.
You hear that? And that's why the scriptures talk about our conversation is in heaven. Okay? The mindset that we have is divine. It's not carnal. We're not carnally minded. Because to be carnally minded is death. It's on a low, much low level. Okay?
Verse 15. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind that museth upon many things.
And there you go. And that's those chains of darkness. That's a good precept right there. Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 15. For the chains of darkness, the corruptible body, what does it say? Presseth down the soul?
Let me read it again. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 verse 15. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul.
Yeah, and what you notice is, like the angel told Ezra, that the world shall be weaker through age. In process of time, we have become weaker. Those chains became tighter and darker, and tighter and darker, and tighter and darker, to the point where now we're smaller, we're weaker. You get tired quicker. The food is worse. Your memory's not as good. You don't have your strength, you know. But ultimately, that's why the Lord is going to do what? So right now, what's the Lord doing? He's purifying our minds. Forget these bodies, you know. The Lord didn't say, look, you got to be under 200 pounds to be delivered. No, forget the physical appearance. Now, that doesn't mean don't take care of your health. Don't take care of your body. Of course, take care of your body. The scriptures talk about that, okay? But the Lord is not delivering you based on what your body looks like. In this society, that's what people go off of. Damn, man, look at that dude. Oh, damn, man, look at that chick. You know, oh my gosh.
You can keep saying, I guess, Christian.
That's what they do. But the Most High is looking at the inward. Because you got this world that looks at the outward, and a chick may be bad, but you don't know what kind of intention she got. She may be looking at you knowing that she's going to use her outward appearance to mess with you, to empty your bank account, to just run you up in circles, mess you up, cheat on you, weaken you, bring you down to a piece of bread and leave your ass. But you won't know that because all you're looking at is, damn, my goodness, what is that? Is that the way to heaven? No, that's the way to hell. Yeah. Speaking of hell, see, you know, pull it up in here. You got it.
To add to your point, what you said, this is 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 8. It says, for bodily exercise profited little.
So it does profit, but it profits little. Why does it profit little? It profits little in comparison to the spiritual exercise. Go ahead.
But godliness is profitable unto all things.
See, so bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness. So in comparison to godliness, bodily exercise profiteth little. So in essence, what does that mean? Yes, take care of yourself. Yes, go to the gym, but where do you put in your most work? Do you put in your most work into godliness, or you put it into bodily exercise? You got to put it into godliness, because that's where you're going to gain the most profit.
Says, continue, it says, I'll read it again. For bodily exercise profited little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that is now and of that which is to come.
And there you go, and of that which is to come, okay? Which ultimately is going into what? The kingdom. That's when we're actually going to live, as the Apostle Paul said, for here you have no continuing city, but you seek one to come. And this is not our rest, all right? Because what ultimately you may look like, damn, Michael Jai White in his prime, right? And what's gonna happen? Eventually you're gonna get old. Eventually your body's gonna get saggy and wrinkly, and eventually you're gonna die. King David in his prime, we read about the things he was doing, but eventually he got old, to the point where, you know, when they brought what's her name, Abishag, the Issacharite, she was a nice young woman to come and excite him and incite his burning fires, not put out his fires, but to light his fires. He couldn't, you know what I'm saying? The fire wasn't lighted, and they knew, oh yeah, it's time to go. So even him at his time, like we read in the beginning, to everything there is a season. He gets to the point where your body breaks down, you get old, you die. But what remains the same? Your spirit. So this knowledge, this truth, this understanding that you are, the godliness that is following you. As the scriptures say, their works do follow them. Your body doesn't follow you. Your relatives don't follow you. Nothing in this world follows you, but your works follow you. So the permanent thing you're doing is serving Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's going to follow you. When you're in the spirit world, when you back on the earth, wherever you at. 2 Ezra 14 and 35 tells you that. after death we shall live again, and then shall the righteous be manifest, you know, and the works of the wicked, you know, be made known, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so it's very important that you do this work and that you serve the Lord to where it's pleasing to him, because that reputation, that those deeds, those merits are going to follow you. Those are permanent.
To add to your point, that's what King Solomon was pretty much complaining about when you read the book of Ecclesiastes.
Right.
Saying that all this stuff that I'm doing is pretty much vain because eventually I'm going to die. And then it's like, well, what was the whole point of it? So that even King Solomon knew, which is Yahweh Shai, that you need to be immortal, man, because it's like, what's the point of like having all this wisdom knowledge, but then when you die, you don't know if the next person might be a fool. You know, your son coming up, he might be a fool. So the point is that we need immortal bodies, and we need the righteousness to be put within us, so that way we can have that, you know, everlasting enjoyment.
Yep.
Like a kid, like when they want to play, and the sun goes down, you tell them come back inside, they don't want to stop playing. So we got to be,
Right.
you know, in a sense like that, like kids, like where we can have that complete righteousness, where we can play all the time in righteousness.
Yep. And that's why the same King Solomon said in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 23, for God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Why? How do we know that? Because when you get to your deathbed, there's some that accept it and some that are like, no, I don't want to die. But why is that? If you were made to just be mortal and just die, then when your death time comes, you should just be satisfied. But yet there's always something that if you could live longer, you would live to do. See, the fun doesn't stop. You know, the activities don't stop. Life doesn't stop. Yours does. So the Lord made us to be immortal because the kind of life he designed us to live requires immortality. That's why in the kingdom, we're going to be immortal. We're not going to live 1,000 years and die, live 500 years and die. No, we're going to be immortal. That means forever. We're just going to live continuously. So we're not going to be affected necessarily by time in the sense that we are now. Okay? To where now you know, you have joint pains, arthritis, memory loss, you know, your body's getting weaker and you look older. None of that. In the kingdom, we're going to be in our prime and we're going to stay in our prime. When in the visions that the prophets got of Yahweh Shai, they saw him as a young man, right? Now it's been over 2,000 years. Why didn't he look like an old man?
Now, even though we kind of went away from Isaiah 61, but all this is still going into the edification that this is what we have to look forward to for the kingdom of heaven. Yeah, bad times and hard times is coming, but we have something to look forward to. This is the true gospel. This is the true good news for you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and also you other you Israelites that are scattered across the four corners of the earth that may not look like typical Israelite, so-called black, Latino, and Native American Indian. But if you look like a Caucasian man, a Japanese man, but your mind, your spirit resonates with the word, then you're an Israelite. You're of the seed of Israel.
That's right. That's right. Now, somebody asked about what's going to happen to the 2/3 after they die. Are they going to come back or are they going to be destroyed forever? Now, before answering that question, I want to say this. When we mention 2/3, 2/3 is a fraction, right? And it's a fraction of what? 2 out of 3. So when we mention 2/3, 2/3 is talking about the wicked Israelites in America. It's talking about 2 out of 3 Israelites, right? 2/3, yeah, in Zechariah, you already know. 2/3 of Israelites in America, in the land of America. When we say 2/3, we're talking about those wicked Israelites in the land of America, okay? Now, that doesn't mean that everybody else that's not in America is righteous. You have wicked Israelites, ungodly Israelites that are not in America. They're ungodly, they're wicked, but they're not 2/3 because that is really applying to those that are living in the land, all right? Now, to answer it in the sense of what's going to happen to the wicked Israelites that die, they're going to come back, all right? Because what's going to happen to the righteous Israelites, right? The elect are going to be delivered, right? The elect are going to have their bodies changed, but eventually we're going to have children. So what's going to happen? Those spirits, right, that were on the earth in the bodies of those wicked Israelites, when they die, their spirits go to the spirit world, and then they're going to come back on the earth through us. When we have babies, those babies that we have are going to be those wicked Israelites that died. and now they're coming back through reincarnation. All right. So yes, the 2/3, or really to put it, the wicked Israelites that get destroyed, they're gonna come back through the line or the loins of the elect, meaning they're gonna come back as the children of the elect, and they're gonna grow up and they're gonna have their own children. Got it?
This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord.
Right. So what land is that? That's talking about this land. Go ahead. Now, in prophecy, it's talking about this land. Go ahead.
Two parts therein shall be cut off. Two parts therein shall be cut off and die.
Right. So that's where you get the two out of the 2/3. That's where you get it from. Two parts. Go ahead.
But the third shall be left therein.
But the third shall be left therein. Go ahead.
And verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire.
That's the 1/3. All right, which is going into the out of the 3, the whole 2/3, 2 parts. Wicked Israelites are going to be cut off and die in this land, but 1/3 of Israelites in this land are going to be delivered. Okay, but once again, just like you have wicked Israelites living outside of America that may not be counted as 2/3, but they're wicked Israelites. You got righteous Israelites, the elect, that are also in different parts of the world. They're just the elect, okay? They're not counted in the fraction, but they're the elect, okay? So you have the elect, the righteous, and then you have the ungodly, the non-elect, the wicked Israelites. Go ahead.
Okay, read it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire.
So, and ultimately, that's going to be the deliverance, because the main deliverance is going to come out of here. Now, you're going to have Israelites getting delivered from other parts of the earth, but the main one is going to come out of this place, Babylon, because this is where that lake of fire is going to be. So this is where we're going to need to be delivered out of here, ASAP.
And literally, when you think about it, because is it Thessalonians, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, when it talks about when we be received up in the clouds, because at the same time as Lord's willing, we're being beamed up, the missiles are going to come down like you said. So like it says, literally through the fire, you're getting beamed up, you see a missile coming right down past you, like, oh shit. As your body's being changed, however that's going to happen. Because it says in the twinkle of an eye. So that I was meditating upon that as well. Like that's even, an amazement right there, because like you're getting beamed up, a missile is passing right by you, might even feel the heat, like, oh shit. And then at the same time, I can't even explain how your body, I don't know if your skin gonna melt off, or you just going a bright light and you just new body.
That's it, yep. Whether the Lord's gonna take his spirit out this body, put it right into another one, whatever he's gonna do, you wanna find out, endure unto the end. Make it up there and you find out personally. I wanna find out. That's why I'm out here. Right, brother, that's right. That's why we out here. That's why we do what we do, because we wanna find out. We don't wanna find out what a missile tastes like. So that's why we're staying away from the things that displease the Lord.
Actually, actually, there is a little bit, a little taste. Put your hand on the stove. That's just a little slight taste of it.
Yep.
Except just turned up to 1,000. You don't like that because when you touch it, fuck.
Bad, yeah.
So imagine, and then you just can't move out of it. And you just said, Lord says He's gonna leave you there and melt you.
Yep. I just thought about that, and that's gonna be a painful way that people don't consider that. See, when pain comes, that's when people want to reason. Now they want to talk. Now they want to listen. But the Lord ain't gonna want to talk. He ain't gonna want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, did you ever see that meme with it's like this big white girl? She's like this, and it's like some SpongeBob meme. She's like this, and it's like weird around her. It's like I forgot how the picture around her, but it's like this big white chick. I guess people are like coming to attack. She's like,
oh, is she look like all disoriented or something like that?
Yeah, but like it's the way it's around her. It looks like wobbly or something.
Oh yeah. I see. They have one like that with Mr. Krabs. He's like looking left and right. And shit. He's all messed up. But that's gonna be these people. Once some shit happens, whether it's a grid shutdown, because what they getting ready to do? They getting ready to go out there July 4th. I'm sure some Judite woman is going to jump onto the stage. Everybody, calm down. I got an announcement to make. Get my lawyer typed down on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been a hard year, and going into all this BS, it's been a hard year. We haven't been able to come out. So I just really want us to enjoy ourselves, have a good time, and everybody go home to their family. Then boom. Oh shit! You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is going on? Her wig gonna fly off. Somebody gonna be yelling because they seen her bald head. Somebody gonna be yelling because the lights went out. Women are gonna be screaming. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, when that happens, they're gonna be looking disoriented. She gonna be looking around, her hair, her shit is all shit, you know what I'm saying? Dudes is like, yo, what's going on? And yo, I saw a video, I forgot where it was, maybe Chicago, and there was like this whole crowd, and there was like shots fired in the crowd. Man, boy, I tell you, the speed with which these people ran, I'm
Like
talking
roaches.
about, yeah, like roaches. Dudes turn into hurdle stars. They turn into track stars. They turn into WrestleMania DDT fans because they were the way they were shoving. You know how they do in football when they truck somebody? That's what they was doing. I don't get the fuck out my way, but you know what I'm saying? And yo, I mean, jumping over trash cans, diving under shit. You know. So now in this case, if you're not fast, and you gonna be looking like Simba and the Lion King when the you know what I'm saying, when the stampede came. You know, because at that point, everybody goes into fight or flight. And ain't nobody trying to fight no bullets. So people gonna be what? They're gonna be they're gonna be trying to run. You know? There's gonna be people trying to use others as cover. You know? Here it is, shots going on, somebody trying to use you as cover. They can what? You know, but at the end of the day, the point is, they're gonna be looking disoriented when all this goes down. Because they're not expecting this. Alright? There was some more on that? God, and these flies, man.
I'll just read it again. Zechariah chapter 13 and 9. And I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined.
Right, and that's why we're going through this purification that we're going through as well. And it tells you that, as a matter of fact, since I'm here already, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, but the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them. So people don't, you know, people always want something from the Most High, but they don't want to do what the Most High requests. You know, when it comes to the Lord, they forget about righteousness and wickedness. They think it's just a spectrum of where you feel. You know, well, I think I feel that God should love me anyway, so that's just what I believe. Okay, so what? That's the only response. So what? Romans 3 and 3. So what? That's not what the Most High. He's the one doing the judgment, and he doesn't give a damn what you think.
Well, you know, tell him this next time. Okay, baby girl, why don't you love that bum with the missing tooth right over there?
Right.
Why don't you go love him unconditionally?
Right, yeah.
Go give him a hug and a kiss.
Let him show you the love he wants to show you. You know? Let Fleece Johnson out of jail and let him give you a special kind of love. No, because it's about, for everybody, it's about me, right? No. This is the way I want to love the Lord. So let me love him that. Well, that's the way he want to love you. And his love doesn't, you know what I mean, doesn't involve consent.
I likes you and I want you.
That's his love, you know. I want that booty. You know, he's coming. And that's what's gonna happen. I did a video on that. These booty warriors are coming for these women. And they are. You know? They are. These booty, look man, you got people that pound holes into the floor. They pound holes into walls and shit.
What?
Yeah. They hump walls to fucking see a crack in that shit. So when they grab you women up, when they grab you women up, man, it's gonna be like, well, shit, them women gonna find out, you know? It's like freaking iron, it's gonna be like iron on I don't know, like Hulk on Tinkerbell type shit. Cause these people have been deprived. Like in that episode, I don't know if you saw it. Oh, you must have, you know about the Booty Warrior, but what's it called? In the actual episode, they tried, it was the Boondocks, they tried to imitate that show Beyond Scared Straight, where they take like delinquent kids to jail to scare them. No, that's the episode of the Booty Warrior.
Oh,
when they took the kids on the field trip, that was like to like how you got Beyond Scared Straight. They take bad kids to the jail, and then they have the inmates basically scare them. Okay. Yeah, like, oh, you want to be a blood nigga? You want to be a blood? You come here, nigga. This was shit. Yeah, so they scare the kids, and the kids like, nah. I don't want to go to jail. I'm gonna do good. So that's in the episode. That's pretty much what happened when they took him there. It was supposed to be like that, and that shit went wrong because then Fleece Johnson, he attacked Tom. You know?
Oh, so it was just supposed to be just a play thing.
Yeah, they were supposed to come out.
But then he was serious.
Yeah, he was serious.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
okay, yeah, he was passionate about it. He was just sitting in the chair like, you know, you see, I know you Chris Hansen, but I call you Chris Handsome.
Yeah.
He's like, and that's why he was talking like that. He was like, okay, I think we're done here. And it's like, oh, okay. I thought it was like
No. That was the beginning of the episode. That was how Fleece got into jail. Cause he went up into the house and that was like the Dateline NBC. He went up into the house. Chris Hansen came out. You know, what you coming to do here? He said, I ain't come for the little boy. I came for you. And so after he destroyed Chris Hansen, then he ended up in jail.
I'm a warrior.
Yeah, I'm a warrior. Yeah. Chris found that out the hard way. But he ended up in jail, and then later on in the episode, they take the kids over there, you know, in the present time.
Okay.
Yeah. So Tom being the chaperone, you know, it went wrong for Tom because, you know what I mean? My fault. When Flea started giving that speech and he started getting passionate, talking about a Buddha is more important than food. It's more important than water. A man's butt. That was the point where they was, all right, cut the shit, get the kids out of here. But nigga, Tom go. Nah, I gotta stand up for the kids. All right, you stood up all right, you know. You know, but the point that I was trying to make is that in the episode, the inmates ended up taking the kids captive, right? And they started making demands. You had the head inmate guy, the bald black guy, you know, he's like, we want demands. You know, we gonna have these kids hostage and we want demands. And then so they had to now, I think it was Huey, he told him, he said, all right, well, you gotta learn how to negotiate because you holding us hostage, but what do you want in return? He's like, oh yeah, you right, I ain't think about that. All right, good shit, little nigga. Then he says, so what do we want? And what was the things they were listing? He said, we want Asian bitches, Brazilian bitches, black bitches, white bitches. And that's just it. Broadband, internet porn, because you could tell that they were deprived up in that jail. Now, Fleece he was chasing Tom, looking to get a piece, but the mindset of them was that they were deprived of women. So that's why they took them kids hostage, and they even threatened Uncle Ruckus, the fat, ugly guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said, you ain't too fat and ugly to get raped. Oh, so, I mean, but that shows you how desperate they are. You had the other dude talking about, I like to caress you. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, I put the peanut butter jelly shit. The point is that that's the mindset, you know, because they're so deprived. So what you think is going to happen when ultimately they get let out? You know, you don't need to come pay them a visit. They're going to come pay you a visit. They come out and all hell's already breaking loose. Things are already in the turmoil. But they ain't going to have no problem just going into some house, you know, or they're going to try to look. They're going to try to look for Keisha, right? Keisha that lied on them and got them in there. They're going to come to your address. And Keisha's not expecting that. Ding dong, who is it? Me, nigga, open the door.
What movie was that? Baby Boy.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, with, forgot how it goes, but basically, what's her name? Taraji P. Henson. I forgot the character's name or that. Had a baby with Snoop Dogg or whatever. And then she had a new dude, which was Jody, which is played by Tyrese Gibson. And then eventually, I guess, Snoop Dogg got out of jail, and then he paid a visit to Taraji P. Henson in the movie. And he wanted to, you know, rekindle the old stuff. But, you know, what's his name? Jody was the new dude, and he wanted to get rid of Jody.
Yep.
But he knew exactly where she lived, and he went to go see her.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, because, see, somebody could be in jail and still have connects to keep up with what's going on outside. And I forgot what movie or what show it was, but somebody who was in jail, he came out, found the person that put him in there, and he wanted revenge. And what he told him was, you know one thing about jail? You got a lot of time to think in jail. You got nothing but time. It's just you on the wall and all your thoughts. So you really have time to meditate on all the possible ways you want this to go once you finally get out. You know? And the thing that makes it intense is that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to lead them to some of these individuals as a form of judgment. The Lord is going to say, I'm going to have it to where the lights go out, these prison doors open, and they're going to come out. They're going to flood these cities, you know? Anyway, do we have something on that, or that was it on the Isaiah?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, so from there, let's go to, as a matter of fact, Second Esdras. Let me. Oh, I was reading here Wisdom of Solomon. Then after that, we can hear Second Esdras. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 2. It says, in the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. Now, real quick, could you get Isaiah, I think it's 57, and I think it's the first verse. Because it says here that their departure is taken for misery, right? Well, let's read up in here. They don't understand what does it actually mean to die in the truth. Those that are martyrs for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, people are going to look at it like, damn, you know, he really got his head chopped off because he didn't want to do this, or because of what he believed in and all of that. damn, I wouldn't do that if I was him, because they don't understand. Stephen is getting stoned. That to them is like, yo, he's getting hit with stones, and yo, he's in pain. Like this is crazy. Why would anybody want to risk their life for something like this? But they don't understand. But let's get that real quick.
Isaiah chapter 57 verse 1. The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth to heart.
Right. No man layeth to heart. Go ahead.
And merciful men are taken away,
Mm-hmm.
none considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come.
There you go, from the evil to come. So there's certain people that the Lord said, I'm gonna take them back to the spirit world. Your job is done now. But if you're not spiritual, you don't understand what's going on there. Why do you think Paul was content with going up to die? He said, my time is up. You know, it's time for me to go do what I got to do. Why do you think he was so content? Because he understood that his departure wasn't miserable, because he had a crown waiting for him. And that's why Ezra in second Ezra, the second chapter in the 40th verse on down, Ezra talks about Yahushua putting crowns. He saw that Yahushua putting crowns on the heads of the elect. So Paul knew what he was talking about. Going on, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 verse 3 says, and they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. It says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. So regardless of what we have to go through, our hope is full of immortality. That's why we get back up and we keep on going. We fall, we get back up. You know, whatever they throw at us, especially when they come with this heavy persecution, and they, 2nd Ezra 16, the madmen, the burning indignation, right? The burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled against you. Guess what? Our hope is full of immortality. So it says, verse 5, and having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. Now, real quick, let's get the book of Romans. I think it's in Romans, the 8th chapter. It says that for the suffering of this present time is not worthy to be compared. Because what we're going through right now, if you really think about it, yeah, there's moments when you have super lows, you know? And there's moments when you have highs in the truth, where you feel so close to the Lord, you feel happy, you feel in the spirit. But guess what? Those lows and those hard times that you have, the Most High is going to reward you beyond anything you could ever imagine for enduring that for him, for going hard for his name's sake. Ezra said he greatly commended them for what? Standing stiffly for the name of the Lord. Okay? So you got to stand stiffly for the name of the Lord. You got to be unmovable. You got to be stiff-necked in righteousness. Okay? You don't turn to the left or to the right. You stay on the path of righteousness. Yeah, we might need to end it soon.
No, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't bring the usually I'm not answering. But yeah, let's did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can start at 17.
Go ahead.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 17. And if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
Right, so if we suffer with the Lord, why are we suffering right now? Why do people call us a hate group and they say all these things? Why is that? It's not us. It's because of the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And I have testimonies of that. When I woke up when the Lord woke me up to the truth, and I was in high school, before coming into the truth, I was cool. You know, after coming into the truth, I noticed something. You know, it was my last year in high school, but I noticed something, which was the energy. You know, went from 100 to 0, no friends, that kind of thing. But then I peeped that whenever I would speak to somebody, and it wasn't about the Bible, it wasn't about Yahushua, it wasn't about the truth, they were cool. It was like back to the way it was 2 years ago. The second I started speaking about that, that's when they got so annoyed and fed up and so like, you know what I mean? Like to the point where they heard my name, everybody wanted to go the other way. You know, I walk into the class, I sit down, and in like 5 minutes, the table is empty. You know, somebody's over here, they over here. I'm like, yo, what happened? Nah, bro. Somebody called me over here. I'm like, I didn't even say anything, but they know what I talk about, so they don't even wanna have me even say any word. And then that's when it clicked in my mind that, yeah, no, it's not about me. They don't hate me. I'm cool. right? When I talk to them about it, it's cool. But when I talk about this, that's when they like, shut up, man, get out of here. We don't want you here. That's when I realized it's not us. It's Yahushua. It's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. That's why he said they hate me. And if they've hated me, they're gonna hate you. Why? Because you serving me. So if you suffer with the Lord, guess what? You're gonna be rewarded with the Lord. And the sufferings of the Lord were great, but the reward is even greater. There's more?
Yeah.
All right.
This is verse 18. It says, for I reckon, verse 18, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time.
Now, this is the Apostle Paul, right? And keep in mind, what do we know about the Apostle Paul? The Apostle Paul was taught by Yahushua. The Lord gave him revelations. So he was on a high level in the spirit, right? In addition to that, damn, I forgot what chapter it is, but it tells you, and I think it's in Corinthians, Paul describes the things he had to go through. Beaten thrice, stoned to death, and then the Lord brought him back. Shipwrecked.
I think that's might be 2 Corinthians 12 or something
Might,
like that.
yeah, it might be that.
He said it was shipwreck. He was in the sea for like 3 days.
Wrestled against, beasts, all right, starving, naked, beaten, all these things. Paul went through all of that. So for him, having suffered all these things, to then say what he's about to say right there, what does that tell you? Because we haven't suffered those things. So what's our excuse? Go ahead.
Romans chapter 9, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
There you go. So keep that in mind. All the things the Apostle Paul went through, for him to then, because he suffered a lot, right? And then for him to still say that ain't even going to compare to what the Lord is going, with the glory that's going to be revealed in us, that should say a lot. All right? So now let's go back. We're going to finish it off here in Wisdom of Solomon. What's the time? So it says here, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse...
304.
Okay. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 4. It says, for though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded. For the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. So many are called, but few are chosen. When you're called, you're being put in the fire. You're being tried. And if you're found to be chosen, then you were proved. And what, as it says here, for the Most High proved them and found them worthy for himself. So if you're able to endure unto the end, then you've been proved and found worthy unto the Most High. It says here, as gold in the furnace hath he tried them. So how is gold tried in the furnace? With heat, to purify it. So heat doesn't feel good, but it's necessary. All right, and it brings out it purges off the impurities, and it brings out the value. So that's what the Lord is doing. The things we're going through now is making us into high value men. All right, high value individuals, and Lord willing, we be a part of the elect. It says here, as gold in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. In the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. They shall judge the nations. So that's what? That's power. The Lord is going to give us power to be able to judge the nations. Right now, people walk past and it's like we don't even exist, But guess what? The same ones here that look like they don't exist, guess what? The Most High is going to raise us up and give us power. And we're going to judge the nations. And then everybody's going to know us then, But at the end of the day, it ain't about us. We're not here because it's about us. We're not here for recognition. If that was the case, why would we be here doing this? Wouldn't we be doing something in the world that can give us more recognition? No, we're here for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. This is the Lord's work. All right? We are serving. We are serving. So as a servant, if your master says, I'm hungry, you don't get to say, oh, well, I don't know. There ain't no food in the kitchen. When the master commands you, when the master says, I'm hungry, there ain't no excuses. If there's no food in the kitchen, you find a way, Because if you know your Lord eats at 8 p.m. every evening, you better make sure that at 8 p.m. that food is there ready, the way he wants it. Because then you're in trouble. So it says here, and even if you miss one day, you're going to leave a bad taste in his mouth, but then you got to make it up. You got to make it up. But then if it becomes a pattern, then guess what? He's going to get another servant. So it says, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 8, they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. Verse 9, they that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. See? It says, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. That's the end of the story. Where it didn't say for the rest of the world, it said for his elect, okay? Which are the upper class of the nation of Israel. And that's just how the Lord set it up. So what do? We strive to be a part of the elect. So I know I said we're gonna end it there, but let's actually end it with 2 Peter 1 and 10. That's a precept that can always be brought out. You know, and it's interesting because, you know, right now we read like the book of Acts, right? We read the book of, you know, the prophets and the writings of old, the book of Jeremiah and all of that, and we're able to see what happened back then. But in the kingdom, guess what? The same way we're able to read about the book of Acts now, in the kingdom, we're going to witness the acts that we did here, Acts 2.0. So you're also fighting for your legacy, you know? And that's going to be it. All right? That's going to be it. The works that you did, they're going to follow you. And the Lord is either going to reward you or he's going to destroy you. Got it?
This is the book of 2 Peter,
You can break it down.
chapter 1, verse 10. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if you do these things, you shall never fail. So like the brother was going into, you're making your calling and election sure by coming out here, mainly coming out here doing this work, prophesying, you know, making your body a living sacrifice, doing what the Lord said to Ezekiel in Ezekiel 3 and 17, you know, son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So you make your calling and election sure by coming out and doing the works. Like Yahushua said, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me. There was another thing that Yahushua said, damn, what was home? Let me see if I can find it. I know we said last one.
No. Whatever. It's the spirit. It's the spirit. You know, yeah, because ultimately, guess what? If you truly believe this thing, then diligence is going to be natural. Diligence is just going to be natural. That's just the way it is. You know that when you work, you get paid, right? So even if you feel tired as hell, you're going to get up and you're going to go to work. Because you know you're going to be diligent by force, because you know that that's how you get your paycheck. Because you believe that you're going to get your paycheck. So if you believe that the Lord is going to reward you, diligence should come naturally. And if it doesn't, you're going to force it to come naturally.
This is John chapter 9, verse 4. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work.
Go.
So it's day right now, which is, we're in this time. This is Esau's day, and it's our night right now because we're at the bottom. But right now it's day for us to work. We can, which is doing this work. But then what? The night comes when what? When it, you know, all hell breaks loose. We're not going to be out here doing these things no more. So we have the time and opportunity right now while the sun is out to work and do this, to perform the ministry, to perform the service.
Yep. To make our calling and election sure. Because ultimately that's what it is, man. We want to be a part of the elect. You know, we want to be a part of the elect. And guess what? We hope to be a part of the elect, but ultimately we're going to find out when that time comes. You know, so as the Apostle Peter said, which is more than great advice, is give all diligence to make your calling and election sure. So you want to be a part of the elect, you want that reward, you got to put in that work. Nothing comes easy, nothing comes cheap, or nothing is free. You got to work for it. You know, especially this. Okay, got anything else? All right, so anyway, with that, we're gonna end it here. Unfortunately, I don't have the portable charger with me, so I can't keep the phone up. But Lord willing, you know, that was edifying and pleasing to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. In closing, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem B'Chak Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.